What's up, guys? Want to talk to you today about kind of a difficult subject for me. I tried doing this over Facebook Live, but it didn't go as well as I wanted it to. So I'm going to do a recorded video here, and I'm going to post this to YouTube. But the problem is depression, and I think it's a huge problem in today's society. And it seems like it's growing. It seems like everybody experiences it at some point. You know, the two communities I deal with, the veteran community and the fitness community, I see a lot of depressed people, especially in the veteran community. Over the past decade, we've had a lot of issues with depression stemming from PTS, stemming from traumatic brain injuries and things like that, injuries guys have had while they were on deployments and things like that. But also in the fitness community, I see quite a bit of people who are trying to run away from something, within themselves. And I think one of the issues that we have as a society is that we tend to try to ignore the problem, and we try to wrap our minds around something else. And the way I wrap my mind around something else is I dive headfirst into my work. You know, I focus so heavily on my business. I focus so heavily on I'm just trying to build things that I tend to ignore putting the work into myself, and that leads to some down moments. You know, recently I've had some issues. I had to go on prednisone this past year for ulcerative colitis. That's taken a toll on, how I look. It's taken a toll on my personal fitness levels. It's taken a toll on what I can do physically. I've had to miss some jiu-jitsu training. I can't lift weights the way I really want to, which is not to say that I can't do movements, but I'm not able to hoist the weight that I used to. And so that takes a mental toll. And I get a lot of emails from people who are feeling down on themselves because they're not where they want to be physically, and that leads to depression. And then there's a lot of people out there who aren't where they want to be in life, which I'm not either. And I think that leads to depression too. But I want to share with you a couple of different things that I've used in my life to really try to get around this. And the first one is physical activity. And I'm not just talking about going out and training at the gym or getting your workout every day, which is important. I think it's an important part of alleviating depression. But I'm also talking about physical movement. When you sit there and you're just sitting in one spot the whole time, and you're trying to focus on something, one of the things that can really happen is that you end up almost ignoring the problem, and you wrap your head around whatever you're working on. And what happens there is when you come to a roadblock in what you're working on, that's when it hits you. And you don't even know where it's coming from because you're ignoring the initial problem, but you're sitting there and you're saying, oh my God, I can't get any work done. I can't concentrate. I can't focus. So what am I going to do here? And you start to feel helpless. So one of the things that I like to do throughout my day is to get up and move, get outside, go for a walk. I have a 50-pound kettlebell I'll pick up and I'll just walk with it for 3 miles, but you don't need to do that. Just get out there and go for a walk. Get out there and maybe do some calisthenics, maybe do some Ido Portal style movement workouts or something like that. But there's two factors there that really help. One, the more you move, the more physical activity you're doing, especially when you're doing, some good endurance training or going for a run or something like that. There's certain chemicals your brain releases when you're depressed. And I was listening to a podcast with Dr. Rhonda Patrick on Joe Rogan the other day, and really great podcast. But one of the things she was talking about there, and something that a lot of people understand, is that you start to absorb those chemicals into your muscles, and it helps you helps to really, help you feel in a better mood. It helps to alleviate some of that stuff that's wrapped up in that those chemicals that are racking your brain and really keeping you from thinking straight. The other thing that happens when you do something like that, say you go for a long walk or a run, or you just get outside and you move and you do something else, it forces you to be present. And that takes your mind off of all the shit that you're trying to distract yourself with, all the entertainment or the project you're working on, things like that, that's helping you to ignore what the problem is. And it helps you to actually be present and clear your mind a bit, so you can actually start to identify things in yourself that you can work on, that'll help you to become better, and it'll help you to become to really feel better about yourself. Because I think a huge part of depression is, again, identifying where it's coming from in the first place. A lot of us don't understand or don't know where it's coming from. I think part of it is physical and physiological, where with chemicals, but there's also a big part of it where we're getting in our own way, and we're trying to ignore the things that are really coming up. So physical activity is one. Two, really focusing on your nutrition and making sure that you're getting everything you need. This might require a blood test. It might require you to get out there and see what you're deficient in. And a lot of us, we tend to focus so much on the protein, the carbohydrates, the fats, but we ignore the micronutrients that might be, deficient in our diets. And these can play a huge role in how our brain actually works, how we function as a human being, what kind of mood we're in, how our hormonal balance is the health of our hormonal balance, and whether or not we're functioning properly, or our endocrine systems are functioning properly. Sorry, I'm stumbling over my own words here. So those two basic facets of fitness, getting out there and moving and seeing to your nutrition. And then, of course, spending time with friends and family and loved ones. A simple touch from one of your loved ones can actually help to release oxytocin, can help you to really alleviate some of that stress and some of that cortisol that's built up, and can really help you to feel better. So and then of course, like I said before, sun exposure, actually getting outside, actually allowing your skin to be. Sorry, the camera cut out, guys. Getting out there in the sun can help you to raise your levels of vitamin D, your natural levels of vitamin D. You might also need to supplement with vitamin D, like I said, but that can also play a huge role in alleviating depression. Vitamin D actually acts like a hormone in the human body. So, but those are just some simple tips to try and help alleviate a common problem that a lot of people experience. And if you are experiencing depression, just understand this, guys. Life is hard, but it's also beautiful. And the more you put into yourself, the more you get out of your own head and you get out there and experience life, and you get out there and you experience movement, and you get out there and experience being a human being. Because a lot of things in modern society actually take us away from being a human being. The more you're going to be able to battle this. So I hope this helps, and I will talk to you all soon.